Hello everybody, CW here. I want to show you a couple new colors, powder coat colors that I got in. Watching Roger's video last week, he had a couple of new colors on there and they really look good, and I was tempted to order them right out. At least one of them there really looked good to me. And as I was looking through the colors, I spotted this one here. This is called Prismatic Cadillac Gray, and it's got a lot of sparkle in it. I didn't realize. Usually that means usually that's like a kiss of death. Any kind of translucent candy sparkle, you know, anything like that usually means it's not going to work good. And if I'd known it was in there, maybe I would have hesitated, but I really like these dark colors. And this one here it didn't flow too well. It coated pretty good, but it's a little bit splotchy. So it probably could use either a second coat on this batch to make it a little better, or maybe a little longer shake, tumble, swirl to make sure it's coated a little better. It looked better than it looks now, but I do like the color. The second one, this is old. The second one is this one here. Oh, let me show you the bag. This is the powder. I like the double bag just because it keeps the moisture out. A lot of these companies, they only have a bottle, or they only have a bag, and all too often that's just not enough to seal out the moisture for long-term storage. You know, because I could have these for years. You know, you don't use these up. So I don't know, let me see, I don't know which way you are upside down, which is going to be the top of the screen, but let's just do it this way. In any event, you can read it. And so it's Prismatic Cadillac Gray. And there's even a scan code. I don't know if you can scan it through the video, but scan code, but it's PMB6377. And I do like it. I'm hoping that I can make it work a little better, and I'm pretty sure I will. I wasn't really paying attention when I did it, and I should have, because I could have coated this a little better. Anyway, double bag is my recommendation, and freezer style Ziploc bags are what I choose. And I squeeze out the air. And these ones here, I put these in a Ziploc as well. I just didn't bring it out here. And this one here, again, I don't know which was the top and the bottom, but, and the color is on here. It's a translucent green. So this one I just took a chance on because the color that, wait, a little bit leaked out. It's such a fine powder. The color that Walter had was I think it was a translucent too. And it worked really well for him. Well, I screwed this up too. My head's not there. Got a lot going on. So what I did was, last night, knowing that I was going to do this today, I went out and looked to see what I had for jugs, and I had an empty jug, and I had one that was empty but dirty. So I cleaned it all, washed it all out, and let it dry all night, and used it for the Cadillac Gray, and fine, no problem. When I grabbed the other one, it wasn't empty. It had white in it. I thought it was empty. It was a white jug, so it had white powder in it. So I had to wash it out. So I brought it in and I washed it out, rinsed it out outside, and then brought it in the house and washed it out, and dried it out really good, and set it out in the sun because it was nice and sunny here today and low humidity. It was actually a really nice day to be outside. Maybe it made it to 80 degrees, but anyway. So it had good sun on it, so I figured, you know, an hour or two in the sun like that would have cooked off any kind of moisture that was in there. So I brought it in the garage. I had the bullets cast up, and I'll show you what these molds are because they're pretty neat molds. I've done videos on them, I believe, but I'll show them to you again. And I put the powder in, I dumped half the bullets in, shook them up, and there was some moisture in there. Maybe it was up under the rim, but what it does is it it kind of makes the powder look like crumb cake topping. It clumps up and it leaves balls of powder, and it doesn't stick. So what we ended up with was blotchiness. Like here's one that coated really thickly in places. As a matter of fact, now that I'm looking at this, I probably ought to throw this one away. It flowed down to the base and made a flared base on the bullet. So we'll just set that one aside. But so I took a chance that it was going to be okay and just did a second coat. And a second coat did do it. You know, it's a nice color. It's a nice translucent green color. The little bit darker spots, if you can see them through your screen, that's the spots that there was the first coating on half of the bullets here that was blotchy. You know, because the moisture doesn't completely kill your powder. It just makes it so it doesn't work very well at all. So some of it will still stick, but not like you want it to. And I could have washed the bullets off and started over, and it would have ended up with a better product, but my OCD isn't that strong, and as long as the bullet's coated, the powder coat is going to do its job, which is going to be to protect the bore and to, you know, cut down, eliminate leading. So these kind of colors usually have a lot of clear in them, so even though they don't look that great, they don't look like they're coated well, they really are coated very well, because the clear that's in them gets everywhere. And then over here, this is the same bullet as this, just with a different tip in it. This is a cup point, just a little cup point, and this one here is a deep hollow point. Same exact bullet. And these are both MP molds, and I'll show them to you here. This one here is called a 453490. I think it'll focus on that. It's right here. And these MP molds are just fabulous. Anybody who's a bullet caster owes it to themselves to own at least one of these, because they are tremendous molds. The hollow point pins come in from the side, and they're just a joy to cast with. I like to buy them in brass. You can get them in aluminum. I like to buy them in brass because, to me, brass is like the epitome of a bullet mold, and the best quality, the best, nicest molds are going to be brass molds. It's not always true, but that's, you know, what is in my head. So when I buy a MP mold, I don't own anything but brass from him. And I do have a couple solid ones, and the one over here I'm going to show you next is a solid one from MP. And I was after this mold for a long time. It's a Lyman mold, 454423, and I'd got it in a single cavity, but I hadn't been able to find one in a 2 cavity. And Walks Fletcher had a NOE copy in a 4 cavity that he lent me, and I cast up a whole bunch of bullets. And then one of my friends on another forum said that he's going to sell a bunch of molds, and he has a MP 454423, and he has a 2 cavity Lyman 454423, and which one would I like? And although I was hunting and looking for a Lyman, if I have the chance to get an MP mold, 10 times out of 9 I'm going to take it over a Lyman. So that's what I did. Plus I got a 4 cavity. Again, just beautiful molds. Just beautiful molds. And this one is, they're both 45 caliber, and they're similar weights. I know I'm going to get the weights on this one wrong, but I'm pretty sure, I know Walter has this mold, and so does MacMan, and we all got them about the same time. I'm going to say this is about 125 or 127 grains as a hollow point. Again, alloy dependent. And this one here is closer to 230. and then the solid one I think is about 235. Maybe it's 240. Maybe not quite that heavy, but that's about what they are approximately. And again, these two are the same. This is just coated with Cadillac blue, and this is coated with violet Eastwood colors. And this is that Prismatic. But this is a 45 caliber, and it's about 240, 245 grains with a nice big me-plat. And there we go. So, you know, I wanted to show you these two new powders and tell you that they both are pretty good. I can't really say they're top perfect powders because, you know, you can see some of the blotchiness in here, but I'm not blaming the powder. Like I said, when I looked at it quick, I was doing a bunch of things this morning, and my time is not my own, so I kind of steal away what I can, and I should have looked closer, but I wasn't really worried about it. And when I got them out of the oven, when I was setting them into the oven, I saw that there's some blotches, and I said, well, let's hope it flows. And it flowed a little bit. You can see the hickeys and voids in that one. It's going to be fine for what it is. And like I say, my OCD isn't that strong, so I'm not overly concerned with it. But the Cadillac blue over here and the violet, those are beautiful powders. Sorry, I had to get a drink. It's thirsty. And somebody's got a fire out here. And it smells of a strange wood that I haven't smelled in a long time. Like it's hickory or something like that. Somebody's burning. It's a really pleasant smell. Anyway, so it's a nice summer day here, and I had a little bit of time. So I did a little bit of casting so that I could try out these powders, and I like them. They're pretty good. I want to work a little more with them. I've always wanted a nice black color, dark gray black color, and I haven't ever found one that's really good. So I'll keep looking. But this is pretty good. This is a pleasant green. I like it. But it may be a 2-coat color to get that. This is 2 coats on most of these. All right, there it is, everybody. God bless. I hope you're having a fabulous weekend. CW out.